Hello everyone, and welcome to NoHuddle, a channel for college football fans brought to you by college football fans. Our previous video was about who our picks were for the all-offensive team in 2023. Now, we believe it's only fair to go over our selections for an all-defensive team. Without further ado, let's get into our picks. One of the prominent names returning to the Seminoles in the 2023 seasons is one Jared Verse. His 9.5 sacks in 2022 was good enough for 20th in the country and 2nd in the ACC. He recorded 17 tackles for a loss in the 2022 campaign as well, which goes to show how much he can disrupt an offseason. We must remember this was his first year with the Seminoles too, after coming in from the Albany Great Danes. Verse also earned All-ACC last season and even received some first-team All-American votes too. If Jared Verse can stay healthy this year and another season with Florida State, then he could be putting up bigger numbers in 2023. We believe being in the system for year 2 and being more comfortable in it should allow Verse to develop further into a premier end for 2023. Three-time All-ACC defensive tackle Tyler Davis for Clemson is another we believe makes the NoHuddle defensive team in 2023. Heading into the 2023 season, Davis recorded 26 tackles for a loss in his collegiate career and 15.5 sacks in 43 games with 39 starts. He maintained a role in the defense since his true freshman season and is a benchmark for the Tigers. In this pivotal season for Clemson, where they look to play in the postseason after a 2-year absence, a key will be their defense. With Tyler Davis's solid play throughout the previous years, we expect him to step up his level of play in what should be a great season for Clemson football. The anchor of perhaps the best defense in college football, at least the #1 scoring defense, is Jerzon Newton. In his junior season, Newton led Illinois in tackles for a loss with 14, 5.5 sacks, and 11 quarterback hurries. According to Pro Football Focus, he was the 9th graded defender in the nation and 4th in Power 5 with a score of 91.5. The All-American was perhaps one of the best tackles in 2022, and he has an opportunity to build on his resume. The Fightin' Illini saw 3 of their top secondary pieces enter the draft, with Isaac Darkangelo, Jartavius Martin, and Sidney Brown being in the NFL. This may mean that Newton becomes a more integral part of the defense than in previous seasons. Something else that is interesting is that those 3 players from Illinois had 72, 64, and 59 tackles on the season, which was more or equal to Newton's total in the previous year. Nonetheless, a lot of eyes are on Jerzon Newton, and we believe he can thrive in 2023. This could be the year Mykel Williams breaks out at Georgia, so much so that we believe he's deserving of a spot in the all-defensive team. In his true freshman season, he tied Jalen Carter for quarterback hurries with 31, which led the Bulldogs in that category. Now, with the departure of Carter for the NFL, Williams looks like the next man up to take his spot as the premier player on Georgia's front line. Let's not forget either that the Bulldogs recruited defensive lineman Jordan Hall, who was the 12th ranked recruit in the country. Nonetheless, while Mykel Williams did not blow up in his first season as a Bulldog, we believe that he can bust onto the scene in his sophomore season. As a true freshman, Harold Perkins Jr. led the Tigers in tackles for a loss with 13, QB hurries with 14, sacks at 7.5, and forced fumbles with 4. He quickly established himself as a huge threat on the defensive end for the powerhouse LSU. On the Late Kick with Josh Pate YouTube channel, he said that 3 SEC coaches told him that Perkins is the best defensive player in the conference. With that kind of praise, there must be something there. You can't have that kind of hype and attention and not be a great player. Perkins Jr. clearly is, and this was his first season of college football. We believe if he gets even better than what he already is, he goes from just an All-SEC defensive player to a potentially All-American first team. We believe Perkins Jr. can ascend to these ranks in 2023. Another talented player the Georgia Bulldogs have on the defensive side of the ball is Jamon Dumas Johnson. Could we call him JDJ? Is that a thing? JDJ for Georgia. Anyway, Dumas Johnson was 3rd in quarterback hurries with 24 in the 2022 season, where the Bulldogs won the national championship. His 9 tackles for a loss led the team, and this was his sophomore season, by the way. He's clearly one of the best linebackers in the country, as he was a finalist for the Butkus Award in 2022, but lost to Iowa's Jack Campbell. Georgia's defense still looks poised to be one of the best in the country, and part of it is because of Jamon Dumas Johnson. We think he can build off his successful sophomore season, so we have him as one of our linebackers for the all-defense team in 2023. Dallas Turner does not have eye-popping numbers, as he only collected 4 sacks in 2022 and 8 tackles for a loss. His first season, he posted 8.5 sacks, so there was a decline. But we believe what will help Dallas Turner is that he'll be slated as the next big pass rusher for Alabama. Will Anderson Jr. is now in the NFL, so the Crimson Tide will need someone to step up and try to fill those shoes. Another key piece of this puzzle, or this narrative we're creating, is the new defensive coordinator, Kevin Steele. While all this does not guarantee success, we believe there's a high chance Dallas Turner can have a breakout season in 2023. Another member of Dabo Swinney's defense is the All-American linebacker Barrett Cater. In 2022, Cater recorded 5.5 sacks on the campaign, which tied him for second on the team, with fellow teammate we mentioned earlier, Tyler Davis. Cater also ranked 4th on the team in total tackles, with 73 on the season. A few of Clemson's key pieces on the defense turned pro, but the secondary has key contributors returning in 2023, and one key component of their secondary is Barrett Cater. Easily an all-ACC pick, and if he continues up to his game, in what would be his junior year, he could have another big season for the Tigers in their pursuit to the playoffs. McKinstry is no doubt one of the best corners in college football, and it helps that he has perhaps one of the greatest nicknames in the sport right now. With 15 passes defended in 2022, McKinstry led the Crimson Tide in that category. However, this may not show just how well he does his job in the Alabama defense. McKinstry takes opposing teams' top receivers on and limits their production significantly, which may not always show up in the box score, but anytime a player can pretty much take one of the top offensive weapons away from a team, it speaks volumes to how good of a corner he is. An All-SEC and All-American in 2022, it just adds to the prestige of McKinstry since he started the second game of his true freshman season. Now he's a junior and looks to build off a solid 2022, both as a corner and a special teams return man. No matter what the flavor, Kool-Aid McKinstry has the potential for a monster year in 2023, and we have him on our all-defensive team. Cornerback Kalen King of Penn State enters the 2023 season as one of the best corners in college football. In the 2022 season, the first-team Big Ten player led the league in passes defended with 15, which also placed him 3rd nationally. This was also the same number of passes defended as our previous pick at cornerback, Kool-Aid McKinstry. But what this also showed was King's improvement at the position from his first year to the 2022 season, where he earned All-American honors, as he went from 5 passes to tripling that effort. He picked off 3 passes in 2022, something he didn't do at all his freshman year. And while we're not saying these numbers will greatly improve, we believe he's in store for a good junior year. A lot of people have the Nittany Lions as a top team in college football because of the amount of talent on defense James Franklin has. Easily one of the standouts on that side of the ball for Penn State is Kalen King, so he's one of our picks for all defense. Bulldogs safety Malachi Starks made an impact from the time he stepped on the field. In his first game as a true freshman against Oregon, Starks recorded 8 total tackles and an interception. Overall, Starks defended 7 passes in the 2022 season, which tied him with now NFL player Keely Ringo for the lead in the Georgia Bulldogs stats. Starks also recorded 45 tackles, which was tied for second with teammate Jamon Dumas Johnson. We believe what Starks has going for him is he's coming back more seasoned and more accustomed to the system. Also, it's possible that since Keely Ringo went to the NFL, that Starks can develop even further as more of a centerpiece in the secondary. Look, Georgia's obviously going to be a stacked team on defense, and Malachi Starks is going to be right in the middle of it. At least we believe. We may not be able to make as good of a pun out of Carmen Kinchin's name because it's not a T, rather an N. But what we can do is say that he is a deserving player for an all-defense selection. The All-American recorded 59 tackles last season, which was tied for the best on the Hurricanes. His 6 interceptions led the team, and he has the talent to be on everyone's national radar. In Late Kick with Josh Pate, host Josh Pate made a great point that because Miami was not nationally relevant, Kinchins may not have received the recognition he deserved, which is a valid point since the ACC is not on the same level of play as the SEC or Big Ten. But if it's any consolation to Kitchens, 6 interceptions led all the ACC. We're on the same page as Pate with this, as he has the talent but may have never got the recognition. If Miami takes a step forward, then Kinchens will be on the national level. Let us know in the comments who you believe is going to be the standout on the defensive side of the ball in 2023. Who are some of the players you're keeping an eye on? Be sure to like the video and subscribe for more college football content.